What's good, people of the world? Today is Tuesday, aka the official 1 week mark of the NBA. And today looks like the kid I'm going to be talking about. Well, I'm going to just go through the standings thus far, and I'm going to give my thoughts on teams and certain players within the teams, and that should be good today. I'm going to talk about rookies too. And yeah, give an overall dive of what my thoughts on the early NBA season are. Not even going to dwell on the fact that I had a literal top 100 video ready to be done, but I only got to one half because I'm pretty sure we went to hoop, and that was way before the season started. But to digress, we're about to look at we're just going to look at the standings thus far, 1 through 15 for each conference, and I'm going to start with the Eastern Conference as of right now. The Bulls, the Sixers are the only two undefeated teams in the East. So you know what that means. We're going to look at the team so far. So their first win of the season was against the Detroit Pistons. And as a Pistons guy, might question what the heck did we do to allow them to be my Pistons. But they also beat the Magic and the Hawks, two teams who many people had in their opinion to be top 5 teams. I know it's early in the season, so that's neither here nor there, but the fact that they beat a team like the Hawks, who have Trae Young, the Hawks have a good team. Pistons Pistons are just missing Malik Beasley right now and his energy. And the Magic they got Paolo Banchero went and traded for Desmond Bane. Jalen Suggs is back. You would think this team would be better, but it's still early in the season. But this is what it's looking like. The Bulls are number 1 in the Eastern Conference per the standings. Vucevic averaging a 20 and 13. You know, that's what Vucevic has done for most of his career. Been a double-double guy. Stretch big. He getting old and brittle. And a lot of fans, I know, some fans are like, what are we going to do with Vuce? Because you got to think about the Bulls. They don't really have a guy like a young big who can fill in and take that jump. So Vucevic is going to continue doing what he's doing, leading this team, sort of, at the big man position. Josh Giddey averaging 19, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Expected from Giddey. We saw what he did after the trade, of course, we know, for Caruso, and he thrived last year with this Bulls team and was being an all-around threat. And let him run the show. His playmaking is enough. He's still young. People forget about that, and we know the Thunder, who really weren't in a win-now situation because all the guys are young. So, but it's, again, neither here nor there. Trey Jones, averaging 13. Ayu Dosunmu's having a good start to the season. A guy who has yet to play due to injury is Kobe White. And that's a guy who is a big part of this team, scoring-wise and energy-wise. And they are 3-0. Kevin Huerter's taking steps. Matas Buzelis. We're seeing a slight jump early in the season from him. And, that is my thoughts on the Bulls so far. We'll see what they can do. Once the season starts to get around, let's see if they can keep winning and keeping it going on their high of early. Got the Sixers. I don't really have much to say about the Sixers. As of, I know Embiid's been out. He's been out 1 game so far with injury management. But VJ Edgecombe has surprised a lot of fans. And a lot of people, when he was in college, said that his game translated better to the league. And I was one of those people that believed that VJ gets to the league and the spacing is way different than it is in college. We see a lot of set plays in college. In the league, the floors just spaced out so much more. And seeing a guy like VJ be able to showcase his talents with a guy like Jared McCain being out, and Bede's hurt for now. So him and Maxey are a duo. Maxey is averaging 37 points per game, by the way. He's been putting up nuclear scoring performances early in the season. Quentin Grimes is a guy who's been good for them since last year when a lot of their people got hurt. And he was one of the bright spots on that team And then, yeah, man, it's just the look of VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey being one of the best backcourts in basketball right now, and VJ's a rookie. 3, we got the Cavaliers. Now, the Cavs just put belt. They just destroyed the Pistons last night. Donovan Mitchell's doing what he does, getting buckets. Not much else that he needs to do when he has a team like this. Evan Mobley doing what he does, being a defensive anchor, being able to score the ball. Jared Allen, dang near doing the same thing, but his scoring has been way better this season early, so that'll be interesting. Sam Merrill can shoot the ball very well. He's a guy who's dang near Max Strus, my boy. His time might be up the way he's looking with Sam Merrill. And they're 3-1 right now. Lonzo Ball off the bench is averaging 6 assists per game and 5 points. So you know what Lonzo brings to the table. Lonzo is a guy who can defend. He can play make. He doesn't have to score the ball to be effective. And that's what everyone needs, especially off the bench. And, yeah, no Garland right now, so I would assume. But even still, knowing that team, I would assume Lonzo's your starter as of now. But Lonzo's been hurt, so DeAndre Hunter's there as well. So it's going to be interesting to see. Because with the Celtics being down Tatum, I'm sorry, they're not doing it without him. And that's a fact. And the Knicks are looking okay. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this season in the East, because it's looking stacked. We got the Charlotte Hornets here. 4th. LaMelo Ball with another insane start to his season. Just had a 38-point triple-double the other night. Miles Bridges doing what Miles Bridges does, gets buckets. And is a presence inside. Colin Sexton here is averaging 19 points per game. Now, Colin Sexton, people probably were like, Colin Sexton on the Hornets, what is he going to do? We've seen Colin Sexton average 25 points per game in the league. And he, at this point in his career, he's a vet. And he is going to be a locker room presence for these young guys. And these two bigs, man. Kalkbrenner and Musa Diabate are both. I think that's your front court for the future. And I think that's a really good front court. Con Knipple averaging 15, something light. Brandon Miller's been out. Sion James off. Like, the Hornets have a lot of young talent. And like I said, with the addition of you even got like a Pat Connaughton on the bench, Mason Plumlee. You got young and old, a good mixture. I think every year with the Hornets, it's just a matter of, is LaMelo Ball healthy? Is Brandon Miller healthy? And now you got to look at guys like Con Knipple, who they have to lean on. See Liam McNeely down here. He's not really playing the most. He hasn't really played. But I just think, you got Grant Williams, Josh Green that are hurt. These are guys who can compete and be vets in the locker room with this team full of young guys who has seemed to be an AAU team for all these years. The Heat, 5th. Got Norman Powell, got traded. We knew he was going to go crazy over here. Take the ball. You go on a team like the Clippers that he was on, and he was averaging, 23 points per game, looking like an all-star, gets hurt, comes back, doesn't have the best playoff, and he gets shipped off for John Collins, so you give him the ball in his hands, he looking like the number one option over there, him and Bam. Jaime Jaquez, now that Jimmy's gone, he finally remembers who he is and remembers that he has to play that type of role on the wing of just a do-it-all guy on the court. Bam Adebayo, come on, we know what he's doing. Davion Mitchell's having a solid start to his season. We know he is off night. He is a defensive. That is Davion Mitchell's specialty, is being a defensive monster, and he's undersized, and that's what's keeping him and giving him a spot on a lot of teams, and him looking like the future guard for this Heat team. They picked up Simone Fontecchio, former Piston. They have Nikola Jovic, Andrew Wiggins, Khalil Ware up the. I texted my boy the other night. I was like, the Heat are deep. Like, their team is solid all the way, like 1 through. If you ran a 10-man, you still got Tyler Hero, who is the man on this team. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with him and Norman Powell. If you want to be smart, though, Spoke can run Tyler Hero at the 1, and I think they'll be all right. 6, the New York Knicks. Brunson doing Brunson things, averaging 30. McCall doing McCall things. Good wing, 16, 5 and 4. Cat, 20 and 14. OG Anunoby, 16. McBride, 12. Josh Hart, 4 points per game, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Ooh, Jordan Clarkson hasn't been off to the best start to a season for the Knicks, and I was expecting him to be that spark plug that he is, and interesting to see how he's going to push back. No Mitch Robinson, per usual. Mitch Robinson's always hurt, but I think the Knicks can make a run at it healthy. We're going to see how Brown, as a coach, affects this team. Their guys are not going to be getting ran into the dirt. Shout out Tibbs, but we got the Bucks at 2-1. Giannis is looking like an MVP candidate. He's without Dame. He's without Chris. Like, we're so used to seeing this Giannis. I'm not saying it's like a bad thing, but I'm just saying we're so used to seeing, like, Giannis' whole career, he's had like a guy with him that could take over a game. And nowadays it's like Giannis averaged 36, 16, and 7 assists. Like, these are crazy numbers. Shout out to Michigander Ryan Rollins. Cole Anthony's a solid pickup for them. He's averaging 16. Gary Trent, Miles Turner. I think Miles Turner needs to step it up. AJ Green. Like, they got people. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to act like I'm not somebody who was questioning the motives of the Bucks this offseason, because when you get a guy like Dame that gets hurt, and he's 35, you question the future, and they had to look elsewhere, and they're not looking terrible, but it'll be interesting to see. Again, like I say every time with every team, it'll be interesting to see, because it's still early in the season. That's why I'm saying all this stuff. I'm just giving my thoughts, because what's a Bucks team with Kevin Porter Jr. healthy? Like, I think he takes a big step this year and is a top 3 player on that team, because they got a lot of heads over there that are good. My Pistons, man. I'm looking at 2-2 right now. If the season were to end today, Pistons would be a play-in team. Not trying to put any bias in this, but like I already said, bro, Malik. I think we need Malik Beasley, man. Cade is having, I'm not saying he's having a bad start to the season, but this isn't the Cade we expected early. I think we've all expected a bigger leap from Cade. Like, a lot of people have been having Cade in their MVP preseason talks, because after the season he had last year, how can he not build on what he did? And it's still early. That's why I got to say that. But Pistons got smacked yesterday by the Cavs. Asar's looking really good. I know yesterday he didn't have the best game. Questionable for the next game with illness. So that's probably something. But there was a point where he's averaging, 18 points per game. Early in the season, we've only played 4 games. But, like, that's promising to see him being more aggressive offensively. And he's not like Yeah, he's not shooting the three ball, but like him and his brother, they just can't shoot the three, man. Sad. During that, with 13-9, Tobias being Tobias, Stu, Ron Holland taking a leap, which is what we've expected from a young guy. Got Duncan Robinson, Paul Reed. His team, we still got Karis LeVert, who's questionable right now. But he played the first game. Sasser is out. Ivy's still out. That's why it's still early, because there's a lot of there's a lot of injuries that linger into the beginning of the season. So you look at a lot of these teams who have guys who are vital to their team's success, or they're vital to their team getting to the playoffs. And like a guy like Ivy played really well last year and got hurt and missed the playoffs. And as a Pistons guy, we needed him. So it'll be tough it'll be interesting. We got Keyshawn. See, look at this. So Pistons are 2-2, and then 9th seed is the Wizards at 1-2. They'd be in the play-in if the season ended today. Keyshawn George is averaging 20. Alex Sarr taking that leap. Trey Johnson looking like Trey Johnson. He gonna get a bucket. And no one else is really looking or standing out other than the fact that Bilal Coulibaly's hurt. Malachi Branham isn't playing. He's a vet at this point in his career. I don't know what the Wizards are going to do. You can't really... They got rid of Poole, so that's one of the young sparks of your team. But looking to draft a guy like Trey Johnson, see if he can fill that void that I'm calling it, because you got C.J. McCollum, we know what he can do, but he's in old, so yeah. We got the Raptors, the Raptors are a weird case, because granted, Tanner doesn't allow the teams to get into a groove because it's still early. But I expected a better start from these boys. You got Scotty averaging 20. RJ Barrett averaging 21. Brandon Ingram averaging 20. Quickly averaging 15. Jakob Poeltl got hurt in the loss against the Spurs. Great. They got Grady. They got Oach. Another team. Jacoby Walter. Like, another team full of young athletes that just... I don't know if they have Brandon Ingram on their team. Like, quickly. You have a squad. Excuse me. You have a legit basketball team here, and they can't do it. That's the end of the rant about the top 10 teams in the East. Let's look at the bottom 5. Didn't expect they're 1-3. It's still early. I have to say that every time, because these teams at the bottom, like the Hawks right here at 11, they should not be at the bottom. All I have to do is name off names of people on the team and who's healthy and who's not. And this team is completely healthy. Trae Young is active. Kristaps Porzingis is active, and he's having a really good start to the season. Jalen Johnson, active. Okonkwo, active. Nikhil, active. Dyson Daniels' offensive production looks to be the answer, because after last year, a lot of people had the question, and I'd say myself included, of will Dyson Daniels take that offensive leap? And early in the season so far, it's not looking like that. Research, this is another team that just needs to mesh. Just watch. They mesh. Trae Young running it. You got your anchor in Porzingis. You got Jalen Johnson. Sometimes I look at NBA coaches, and I'm not saying I'm better than NBA coaches, but I study the game of basketball every day. And I look at some rosters like the Hawks, my next team, the Magic, the Rapt. Like, these teams should be better than they are. And I say that because it's me personally. And I know what a lot of players can do on the court. And some coaches don't even know what their guys can do out there. You'd be surprised. But we got the Magic. I already talked about them, technically. Paolo and Franz are both having similar seasons early. Paolo not the most efficient. Desmond Bain is having a solid start. Wendell Carter, Tristan Da Silva, Anthony Black, Goga Bada, Jalen Suggs. Like, you have Tyus Jones off the. Like, what am I like? It's early. I gotta relax and not crash out. But sometimes I question. So yeah, we got the Celtics here. I don't know what to say other than they need Jason Tatum, and they're not looking that good. I can't really say much else. Got the Pacers here. Mathurin out. Obi Toppin out. Siakam trying his best. Benedict Mathurin, before his early injury, was having a crazy start to the season. He averaged 31 points per game. And this all looks like the loss of a guy named Miles Turner and an injury of a guy named Tyrese Halliburton. So, got to move on. The Nets. This is Chuck City. We got MPJ. MPJ averaging 3.5 assists. Cam Thomas. This team just isn't that good. You got MPJ. MPJ and Cam Thomas are going to win you games just off the strength that they're both going to put up a 40 ball. They're both going to put up a 30. Like, it's going to happen inevitably. But that playmaking, that situation needs to be fixed. Like, who is your starting point guard? Like, is it Igor Demin? Like, a lot of questions over there. Now, let's get to the Western. We got the Spurs atop. Victor Wembanyama has arrived. He is an alien. He is not human. The Spurs have Stephon Castle. They have Dylan Harper, another rook who's looking really good, as expected. Wemby averaging 31, 14, 2.8 assists per game, and 5 blocks at 7-4. Dylan Harper is averaging 15, 5, and 5. Smooth. Stephon Castle averaging 18, 6, and 5. Another guy who's taking that lead. You got Devin Vassell. The Spurs are really good. And they're not as deep as you expect. You look at the top heavy. You got Wemby, Harp, Castle, Keldon, Vassell, Champagny, Harrison Barnes, Luke Cornett. Like, that's a good rotation. But Wemby, bro, he's on another level, bro. His defensive stats are what separate him from a lot of guys who look at a guy like, oh, Giannis. But Giannis ain't averaging 5 blocks a game. Like, Wemby's going to average 4 blocks a game for the rest of his career. You can't do nothing about that. He's 7'5". Throw it up. You think it's going to go in. And Wemby, like, I'm being so real. Like, this is something we've never seen before, and it's actually crazy. Number 2, the Thunder, without J-Dub, by the way, are 4-0. SGA, averaging 36 a game. Cough, cough. We don't care. I'm hating. He's averaging 36. That 50 ball, though, with the 26 free throws, was out of pocket. Chet having a really good start to the season. AJ Mitchell is a guy that I meant to make a TikTok on after the opening night. And the thing with AJ Mitchell is an offensive, like, he's a good offensive player. I'm trying to compare and contrast him and Cason Wallace and see why he's dang near taking over that backup spot. Their bench is deep, you know. Aaron Wiggins, Cason Wallace, Jalen Williams, Caruso. Whoever you want to start, just plug them and play. And Thunder are just led by that. They're just led by Shea. And when J-Dub comes back, they're going to be even better. Don't be surprised. They're going to make another run. It's the Thunder, bro. Sam Presti the GOAT. He's done it multiple times, and this is one of the times where he's actually gotten it to work. Got the Warriors here. Golden State 3-1. Steph Curry doing Steph Curry things. Still looking as good as ever. Didn't have the best last game, I'd say, but Warriors are looking good. This is the definition of the unction, though, and this is a good version of the unction. I'll get to the other version of the unction soon. Jimmy Butler looking good. Kuminga good. Draymond, Pajemski, Buddy's not having the best shooting season early. You got Moody. These boys, like Moody shooting 60% from three. I know it's early. GP, Warriors mess around and make another run. It's just the age that makes me question, but it's okay. Utah, Larry Marketed, 51 Paul last night, averaging 30 plus this season. He's back. 35 a game. Walker Kessler's taking on a more offensive role. That's a guy who I had in that video that I was going to talk about, who needed to take an offensive leap, and he's doing that now. Averaging 17 and 9, 3 blocks per game, 3 assists, 2 steals almost, shooting 85% from the field and 75% from 3 on how many attempts? It doesn't matter how many attempts. I've seen multiple games this season, in 3 games, of Walker Kessler hit at least a 3, and that's different for his game, and he's expanding his game. Got the clips, the real unction. The thing about the clips is just going to be spread out. You never know. Like, who wants to go crazy? Like, Kawhi had 30 the other night. Harden's averaging his career. It's about to be one of his career stats of being a 20 and 10 guy after, because that's all he does now. Kawhi's looking good. Zubac, not much else he can do other than what he is doing. They got a lot of old heads here. And I just want to see how they fare come playoff time. Got the Nugs at 6. Jokic averaging 20, 15, and 12. Must be nice to be that good. Got Aaron Gordon taking that scoring leap, though. Aaron Gordon's a 25-point-per-game scorer right now. After that 50-piece, though, points per game going to be up. He hasn't kept up with that energy. Jamal Murray averaging 30. Christian Brown, Tim Hardaway, that's the thing. Where's Cam Johnson? Cam Johnson's averaging 8 points per game. They traded MPJ for... I don't know. I think once Christian Brown gets settled, his 3-ball has been super shaky, shooting 20% from the 3 early in the season. And I think once his game gets settled, because we're used to Christian Brown's now a 15-point-per-game guy. And I know there's more mouths to feed now when you take into account Tim Hardaway. Cam Johnson's not going to take as many shots as MPJ did. But you still look at now, and Jamal, like, it's going to be weird. But I think Christian Brown's going to be a bright spot for this team because he has to be if they want to win again, because MPJ gone. You need that guy who can explode for points, and that, I don't know who else that could be on this team. You got Jamal Murray, you got Jokic, you got Aaron Gordon. Those guys are the guys for your team. So it'll be interesting. I'm going to keep saying this because it's early in the season. I've probably said the word interesting 50 times so far. But guess what? It doesn't matter. Got the Blazers. I don't even want to talk about the Blazers, man. The Chauncey Billups situation. That's a whole nother video. Jeremy Grant, Drew Holiday, got the OGs leading the way. Danny, still taking that leap. Klingon, I like Klingon a lot. Kamara, Shaden Sharp, not really taking the leap that we expected. And I wouldn't say it's, I don't know, man. I can't really explain it. Lakers 2-2. Austin Reeves. Luka is out. You gotta think about it. Austin Reeves as a number 1 option is a dog, and with Luka out, he put up 51, and then 41 last night in a loss. Like Ayton's starting to. It's too late. It's too late to be saying Ayton's trying to figure it out. He's a vet now. It's go time. Rui doing Rui. We know what Rui's capable of, and the rest is like they need Bron. We got Timberwolves at 2-2. Didn't expect them to be this. I know Ant's out, but Julius Randle's having a good start. McDaniels is forced to step in and take more shots due to Ant's injury. Nasri, DiVincenzo. I don't know. I don't know if this is that trade for Cat. I don't know if you look at it now. It's not really favoring them. Grizzlies. Ja's looking good. Cedric Coward. Look out for that name. Cedric Coward is one of the people that I saw coming out of college, and I was like, his game is NBA ready. And look at him. He's a plug-and-play guy. He's averaging 16 a game. He's shooting really well from the three. And that's all they need out of him. So, I think he's shooting 64% from three right now. Because he had a game where he shot 6 for 6. Jaren, down year so far. They're missing Edie. Ooh, that's tough. Edie's out. They don't have Ty Jerome. Brandon Clark. Scottie Pitt. This team is missing a lot of pieces that would make them dark horse candidates like we've seen in the past where they go on run. Like they went on a run, even though they lost to Golden State. Before Ja's injury, those games were close, and I was like, oh, this team might be able to beat them. 11, Kings. Sabonis, man. Sabonis been super mid lately. I don't know if it's because of his end. Was he hurt? Like looks like he's. I don't know. Yeah, hamstring. Schroeder looking okay. Dang, this team's just. Keegan Murray's out. Ooh, that's big. Devin Carter's just not playing. That's a lottery pick right there. Sometimes I just question organizations. Let me run an organization, please, one of these days. Get my qualifications up because I would be way better. Got the Rockets, who have 2 wins to dang good teams, a.k.a. my Pistons, and a.k.a. the defending champs. Shout out SGA, game-winning free throw. Come on, bro. Sengun, looking crazy. KD doing KD. Jabari. They need... I think the question for this team is, what do we do when a guy like Fred VanVleet is out and you have to make Amen Thompson run the point, and that doesn't really allow him to flourish because it's an experiment that we have yet to see since he's been in the league. I don't know what they do, but like down the stretch, you have Sengun and Kevin Durant, who are 2 of the best players in basketball as of today, and you pair Jabari Smith, who can shoot, defend. He's 6'11". Steven Adams, who's a brick wall. And you got teams. You need Dorian Finney. You need your bench. You have a bench unit that can defend. 3-and-D defenders. Reed Shepard's still questionable as to what he can do out there. After that first game, I don't know what he was doing. But, yeah. I think this team is a playoff team. I don't think many people are questioning that. Suns. I already talked about this. I didn't in my last. Did I? No, I didn't. But D-Book took the bag. He don't want to win, but you got Mark Williams, man. I wish they would have got him when KD was there. They would have been way better. And then Jalen Green's out, but the Suns are not. Oof. Dylan Brooks averaging 20. And they're not winning. I don't know. Mavs underperforming. Wemby put a curse on them because ever since then, we don't know what the Mavs are able to do. You're running Cooper Flag at the point. I don't think Jason Kidd should have done that. I think they should have let him do what he needs to do. And I think that Coop has gotten better every game except last game. There was a there's a jump every game, and it looked promising. But last game wasn't the best game, so it'll be interesting to see. I keep saying the word interesting. I just think Coop is the key to this team. I think he needs to strap in and be good because they're number. It's still early, so I don't care. But the Pelicans are 0-3, only team in the West that have yet to get a win. And Zion's been looking good, but he's already questionable. Not really missing. They're missing DeJounte, but like Kevon Looney's a backup who could really give them good minutes. DeAndre Jordan's on the team now. Fears is looking all right. Bay, Sadiq Bay can do. He can stretch the floor. He can shoot it. Derek Queen, Herb Jones, Jordan Poole, Trey Murphy, Zion. I had more faith in this team. I don't know. I just thought they would be better now. But yet again, it's now the season's been in for 1 week. So that's my thoughts right now. If I had to say early anything, I can't really say early favorite for and finals. I'm saying like championships. Early MVP has to be Giannis. 1 weekend MVP, Giannis or Luka, because Luka's averaging 46 points per game. Like, that's not normal. Yeah, Luka. I say Luka or Giannis. Depoy. Even Wemby, bro, because he's averaging 31, 14, and 5 blocks, bro, with assists. He did not turn the ball over. I'd say those three. Giannis for sure. Luka for sure. Your three could be whoever you want. But me personally, I'm going Wemby. Depoy, I'm going Wemby out the gate. I don't want to hear nothing else. Rookie, VJ. Because the VJ's averaging 25, 6, and 5 or something like that. And they're winning. And what else? Yeah, I don't really have a team. So I'm going to go without giving like an early season team that I think can win it all. Your obvious looks are in the East right now. Sixers are looking like a team, but I already said the Knicks. I'd probably say to come out of the East or Eastern Conference Finals, probably be Knicks, Cavs, and that'd be entertaining. I don't think any other team would be like as entertaining. And then out the West, I'd probably say Thunder, and it depends. I think Thunder go back to the Western Conference Finals or get bounced early, and you see a team like Golden State or Denver. And yeah, that's what I got today. Hope I didn't bore the people with my ball knowledge, my self-proclaimed ball knowledge. But yeah, NBA season starting off hot. We got 50-point games going all around. We got players looking different. We got teams looking different. We got scoring at an all-time high. And this is what we love about the NBA. And this is what I love about the NBA personally. But I just love the game. And yeah, man. Until soon. I'm trying to do some, once the big games start happening, or I want to do more post-game recaps. I got to get my Peacock going. But yeah, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Hope y'all stay well. And I'll be back for sure because the season is in full effect. Peace out.